What's happening, guys? This is Mike at Mike's Total Dragon Channel, and today I am going to tell you my choice for the book of 2024. I said I was going to do this a couple of weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago or something like that, and things got kind of crazy on the lead up towards Christmas, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now. It's 1:30 in the afternoon here, so I still got time. I can still sneak it in under the wire, but my choice for a book of 2024 is Absolute Batman #1. Now, the reason I say this is because I do not believe that Absolute Batman #1 was the best written book of the year. I do not believe that it was the best drawn book of the year. I do not believe it was the book that had the most to say of the year. But however, I do believe it was the book that got the most people talking. It moved the needle the most. It got people in the stores. It got the conversation started again. I want to say it ended up selling 250, 260 million copies or something like that, something outrageous. And with all that said, that is why I choose Absolute Batman #1 as book of the year. I think the argument will probably be, well, how are you going to make it the book of the year based just upon conversation and sales, and those are not the only things that matter, but to me, when you're looking at moving the needle, which is what Absolute Batman did, that is that's a huge reason. I think moving the needle, getting interest, getting conversation, having articles wrote, having, the topic of the Absolute Universe being covered as much as it was, all of that to me makes it be the book of the year. Now, you might find books that had a lot more to say. You might find books that had better artwork, but you're not going to find one that got people talking and into stores and engaged more than Absolute Batman #1. Now, I say that, and it's not like this book is all filler or all fluff. There is meat on the bone in this book. Scott Snyder is someone who's a really accomplished writer. His time on New 52 Batman is incredibly well remembered. It's a run that you see frequently mentioned in recommended Batman reading lists. Nick Dragotta, ever how that's pronounced, I'm not sure. He's a really great artist. His style fits this book perfectly. And I'll go ahead and crack it open here. And some of the choices that Scott Snyder made in this book, they're choices that we should really applaud and recognize. If he wanted to do some sort of just ironically, or some sort of ironically mean book, which is what I thought this was going to be initially, he didn't have to do things like where are we at right here? Spinning Batman on his head and having him be childhood friends with his rogues gallery, which is a brilliant move. He didn't have to have these scenes go here as hard as they do with the citizens of Gotham taking Commissioner Gordon to task. And he really, like this scene right here, let me find it. It's a really, obviously this artwork is just incredibly powerful, but one of the things that Scott Snyder did not have to do, and he did end up doing, is he gave us a Batman who, that's all right here in the back, who still has a parent alive. That's a really bold choice for Batman, to keep one of the parents still alive, the mother, because we're so used to seeing Batman in all his variations throughout the years having lost both of his parents. So him choosing to keep the mother still alive was a really bold choice that has paid off. But I think, for me personally, no book got more talk, more headlines, more interest than Absolute Batman #1. When you launch a brand new universe like they did with Absolute, and then you make the first title from that universe starring Batman, so you have a brand new universe, a brand new starting #1, and it features the world's most popular character, Batman. It's all with the creative team that we got. It's just a perfect recipe to get conversation started, to sell over 250,000 copies. And those reasons are why I have Absolute Batman as my book of the year. So, like I said, you might find some books out there that are a lot more well written, or have a lot more to say, or a lot more, poignant or whatever. But to me, Absolute Batman checked off all the boxes to make a book of the year. And ultimately, the reason is it's my list. So it's my list and it's my choice. So, of course, I hope other people have a different book for book of the year. And I've seen a lot of other books mentioned, and it's really hard to go wrong with something like this. It's all about what your preference and your taste is. So that is my very first book of the year post from Mike, which is me, at Mike's Total Dragon channel. So I hope you guys have a good year. And I hope you've got plans to have even better 2025 coming up. So until next time, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Bye-bye.